everyone, it's Kristen at Cabin Creations in Phillips, Wisconsin, and I'm very excited for another episode of Stories at the Store. Today's story is a classic story with a fun twist to it, so I hope that you'll come along on the reading journey with me. Today's story for Stories at the Store is called Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood is a classic fairy tale, and a fairy tale is a genre of books. So genre means like a different type, and there's all types of different kinds of books. There's fiction and nonfiction, but then there's different parts to it as well, and one of them is a fairy tale. And a fairy tale and fantasy kind of go together in that some of the things that are in here are make-believe, so it could sometimes take place in what seems like a real life setting, but the things that happen are not always true or can't really happen. So we're gonna read the classic story, Little Red Riding Hood, but there is gonna be some finding stuff along with this story, like some of our other ones, so you're gonna have to look for some things in the pictures and help me find them as we read. So I'm going to read the story, and then I'm going to hold it up for you guys to find our items in the story. It says, Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time there was a little girl who everyone called Little Red Riding Hood. One afternoon she decided to visit her grandmother, who lived on the other side of the forest. All right, now along the side here are the things that we need to find. We need to find mother, a purple door, a butterfly, a bluebird, a cat, yellow flowers, and green roof. So let me hold the book up to the screen. I'll try to be steady. See if you can find those items. The pictures are along the side, so you can use those pictures and see what you can find. Now, if you're looking for stuff and I go to the next page too quick, you can always pause the video, and then you'll be able to look at it a little bit longer. So we're looking for those items over here on the side. Can you find them in the book? Okay. If you didn't get a chance to find them all, then what I want you to do is pause the video and look at it up close, and then start it when you're done, okay? All right. Woodland Path. As she skipped along the forest path listening to the birds singing, she bumped into Mr. Wolf. Where are you going, little one? I'm going to visit my grandmother. All right, let's look along the side and see what we can find. So we've got a basket, a red bird, a bird nest, a cat, a yellow bird, a purple flower, and Mr. Wolf. I'm going to hold it up here. Look at the items on the side and see if you can find it in the story. I know we can see Mr. Wolf. Sometimes maybe you guys know his name as the Big Bad Wolf. Okay, if you didn't have enough time, pause that video and you can look for them. Wandering off. It was such a beautiful day, and there were so many pretty flowers in the forest. Little Red Riding Hood forgot her mother's words of warning and wandered off the path to pick some flowers. All right, on this page we need to find a pink bird, a fox, a log, an ant, a bluebird, Little Red Riding Hood, and a green butterfly. What can you see? I know I could see Little Red Riding Hood, and I could see that fox. All right, pause the video if you didn't have enough time to find them. Okay. Grandmother's Cottage. It was late by the time she got to her grandmother's house. Little Red Riding Hood didn't know that Mr. Wolf was inside, and he had eaten her grandmother. Oh no! So this is the fairy tale part. So a wolf can't go into a house and eat a grandma. Okay, so that part is pretend. All right, let's look at our stuff. We need to find a stack of logs, Mr. Wolf peeking through a window, yellow tree, a cat, squirrel, red bird, and a door. I bet we know where Mr. Wolf is because the story said he was in the house. So I bet we can find him. All right, if you didn't get a chance, pause the video. Mr. Wolf in bed. When Little Red Riding Hood saw her grandmother in bed, she thought she looked very strange indeed. She didn't know that was Mr. Wolf in disguise. Grandma, what big eyes you have. All the better to see you with, my dear. All right, let's look in Grandma's bedroom. We need a box, a hat, an umbrella, flowers, glasses, boots, and a picture. In Grandma's bedroom. Why do you think she thought Grandma looked a little funny? Probably because it's not Grandma, it's Mr. Wolf. And she said, "What big eyes you have." Okay. Next page. The chase. Little Red Riding Hood knew that something was terribly wrong. Mr. Wolf jumped out of the bed and chased Little Red Riding Hood out of the house. "What big teeth you have! The better to eat you with." All right, let's see what we can find in Grandma's house now. A jar, a cat, a teapot, a bottle, a picture, a wooden spoon, and a calendar. Look for those things in Grandma's house. Mr. Wolf is chasing Little Red Riding Hood out of the house. Okay, pause that video if you didn't have a chance. We're going to go to the next page. The woodcutter. Luckily, the woodcutter ran to her rescue. Hearing what had happened, he shook Mr. Wolf upside down until he coughed up Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother. "I'll never speak to strangers again." All right, we need to find the bird, the fox, Mr. Wolf, Little Red Riding Hood, mushrooms, a woolly hat, and a door. So it looks like Mr. Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood were running outside. They found a woodcutter, and Little Red Riding Hood told her what happened, and he tipped Mr. Wolf upside down and he spit out Grandma. So we know that's part of the fairy tale too, right? Okay, look for those things. One more second. All right. And the last page. Oh, a treasure hunt. Well, we're going to have to do this part if you want to buy the book, or if you have the book at home, or if you want to do the library. It says find these extra things by looking carefully at the page. A chest of drawers, the woodcutter, a house with a purple roof, a yellow cat, a blue mushroom, a whisk, a blue dress, a purple tree, a gray squirrel, and a bedside lamp. So can you also find the mouse on every spread? Ooh. So if you want to find this book on your own, or if you want to get it from Cabin Creations, you can do some of those other things too. So this was called a classic fairy tale, and fairy tale is one of the genres, which means types of books that are written. All right. Thank you for reading this classic fairy tale with me. I'm sure some of you might know some other fairy tales too, like maybe Goldilocks and the Three Bears, or Hansel and Gretel. There's all kinds of them. Stories that my grandparents used to tell me when I was little, and books that we read too. And there's all kinds of books and stories that you can read that are classic fairy tales as well. All right, thank you for watching Stories at the Store with me here at Cabin Creations, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.